Welcome back and prepare to be bedazzled because today I'm going to be shedding light on why it takes 10,000 to 12,000 job application submissions with maxed out credentials such as 4 degrees, 4 certifications, and almost 20 years of managerial experience in order to be able to receive a real private sector job offer that pays above minimum wage. So why does this happen to be the case? Without further ado, without further delay, without further procrastination, allow me to demystify the answer to that inquiry right here, right now. Lamentably, much to my dismay, much to my consternation, much to my chagrin, much to my grief, much to my agony, much to my agitation, and much to my irritation, most real private sector employee jobs based on voluntary demand are often deemed to be dead-end, highly time-depleting, debilitating, minimum wage, dispiriting, unfulfilling, undesirable, harrowing, distressful, brutally wretched, and ineffably agonizing jobs not only dispossess a real private sector employee of almost of a sacrosanct time, but that also did not furnish him with anywhere close to even 1/4 of a subsistence wage for affording housing. Furthermore, most real private sector employee jobs based on voluntary demand do not offer any benefits nor any pensions. So it is ineffably cumbersome to attempt to find a real private sector employee job that pays above minimum wage when the vast majority of them pay minimum wage at most. If you ascertain a job posting that shows a pay grade that is above the minimum wage threshold, you may wind up being interviewed for that position just to be apprised that the pay grade is minimum wage and that there's a discrepancy between what the job actually pays and what the pay grade is listed as. So it is duplicitous, deceptive, and misleading when a pay grade is advertised above minimum wage and it is less than minimum wage in actuality. As per the real private sector employee jobs that pay above minimum wage, they are typically location-bound positions. So if you're recalcitrant about moving, if you don't have enough fiat currency to afford to migrate to a disparate state, then it's going to render you disqualified from being able to be pursuant of that job, and you're going to be barred from being pursuant of that job because most real private sector employers are eminently reticent about allowing their real private sector employees to work remotely, even in contexts in which all the job functions can be fulfilled remotely. And the final reason as to why it could easily take well over 12,000 job application submissions with maxed out credentials to be able to receive a real private sector employee job offer that pays above minimum wage is because most companies are eminently reticent about onboarding new employees. They can quiet hire their existing employees to fulfill the roles of a multitude of employees. Almost all the profits that companies generate are reserved for their executives and shareholders. So, a company, for instance, would rather attempt to amplify a chief executive officer's salary from $165 million per year to $188 million per year than onboard new employees. It is more lucrative for the executives in the short haul if they can make do with having fewer employees than onboard new employees, especially if they're going to pay them emolument above minimum wage. There are a copious amount of executives who are earning well over $79,326.92 per hour. which is tantamount to earning over $165 million annually as their compensation. So if you're keen on earning remuneration above minimum wage, then be pursuant of entrepreneurial pursuits. If you want to pull yourself out of the muck and mire, then establish and subsequently build up sizable recurring revenue streams on autopilot to offset your recurring expenses. You do not want your earnings potential to be fettered, nor capped, nor tethered to your precious and valuable sacrosanct time. You want your earnings potential to be unfettered, limitless, and uncapped. So, it is arduous to be able to receive a job offer that pays above minimum wage from a real private sector employer, especially when you take heed of the fact that almost all the profits that the companies generate are reserved for the executives in conjunction with the shareholders. Furthermore, I wouldn't be surprised if more and more real private sector employees were displaced in the workforce as a result of more artificial intelligence powered robots being ushered into the workforce. Will more real private sector employees be displaced by artificial intelligence powered robots in the pending future? Who knows? The future is enigmatic and obscured beyond a number of time. So I hope that you deem this video to be riveting, captivating, mesmerizing, insightful, informative, and engrossing. If you want to amplify your probability to be able to receive a real private sector employee job offer that pays above minimum wage, then you need to be amenable to moving, and you need to have enough fiat currency to be eligible to do so. Without the fiat currency, you lack the mobility to migrate to a disparate location and change your domicile. So once again, I hope that you deem this video to be eminently amusing in all facets. Have a blissful day. Goodbye.